Okay, so let's check whether Docker is installed in our machine or not. That's the first step. So what we'll be doing is we can go into the search bar and we can just type as command prompt. So I'll just enter command, and you can see over here command prompt is appearing. You can click on that. And the moment you do that, you can see that command prompt opens up. Now here you what you can do is you can enter a command over here, which is docker and ps. So once you press enter, you can see that there is a message coming here: docker is not recognized as an internal or external command, which means that docker is not installed. So for that, what we need to do is we need to go into one of the browser, and we can just type as docker desktop for Windows. Because this is a Windows machine, I'll just show for docker desktop for Windows as of now. I'll just click on this, and docker desktop for Windows, the first link that I see over here is install docker desktop on Windows. I'll just click on that, and yes, there is a button over here for docker desktop for Windows. I'll just click on that, and you can see that there is a download happening. So it requires around 625 MB, which is getting downloaded as the default downloads folder. And once this download is completed, let's see how we can open up this .exe and install the Docker in our machine. Right. Now, once the download is complete, you can see that the download is complete here in the bottom left corner. I'll just double click on that, or single click, based on which it has given me an option of, do you want to allow this app to make changes to this device? So I'll just click on yes, and I can see that a message comes up which is installing Docker Desktop 4.17.1. I'll just click on OK. There are a couple of checkboxes over here. So Docker Desktop has identified that it's a Windows OS operating system, and it has given me an option of use WSL2 instead of Hyper-V. That's which is recommended. So I'll just click on OK, and I can see that there is an unpacking of the files happening, as well as some installation happening in the background. You can see a message of installing Docker Desktop. So the message has changed over here. It's showing as installing. Earlier it was showing as unpacking. And you have got a message as installation succeeded. So Docker Desktop has got successfully installed in our machine. I'll just click on close button. And after that, I'll go back to the command prompt, and I'll just run the command as docker ps, and it is still not recognized. I'll go to search and then enter the command prompt. And once the command prompt is entered, I'll just type the command as docker ps, and the error that I get is error during connect. This error may indicate that the Docker daemon is not running, and the system cannot find the file specified. Now I'll change my command, which is docker hyphen version, and I can see that the Docker version indicates the Docker has been installed, like as in there is a Docker version, but it's not running. So for that, what we need to do is, so in order to run Docker as such, what we need to do is we need to go into search and just type as Docker, and you can see that there is a Docker desktop app. I'll just click on that, and this is what opens up, that is Docker subscription service agreement. I'll just click on accept, and once I accept, I get this message which is Docker desktop WSL kernel version upgrade needed. Now for this, what I need to do is update WSL kernel by running WSL hyphen hyphen update. So it's requiring for WSL kernel version upgrade, and this is happening specifically for Microsoft Windows version. Now this won't generally happen if you have a Mac OS. Now what I'll do is I'll just copy this particular command, which is WSL hyphen hyphen update. I just close this and I'll go back to my command prompt. I'll just paste this and run ws update. And after that, what you'll be able to see here is, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device host process for Windows services? So you can click on yes, and post that you can see that the installing is happening. That is for Windows subsystems for Linux. And once the installation is complete, that is 100%. Let's see what really happens. Cool. So we have got a message now, which is Windows subsystem for Linux has been installed, which is good. Now what we'll be doing is we will run the command of docker ps, and it's still showing that error indicate that the docker daemon is not running. So we'll go to Docker desktop, and you can see that the Docker desktop is starting now. Now no more error message of the WSL is coming. So let's see whether the Docker desktop really gets started. Yep. So once it gets started, then you can see that this has opened up. There is no error as such of Docker containers, and I'll just minimize this one and go back to my command prompt and run my command as docker ps. And you can see that there is a container ID, image, command, created, status, ports, and names appearing over here. So what it means is Docker is installed, and let's run this command docker hyphen hyphen version, and you can see that Docker version 20.10.23 is available over here. So Docker looks good. It is installed in your Windows machine.